the Paris Olympic game, and we heard that South Africa's men's 4x400 meters relay team has been included in the final by the referee. Now, this automatically disqualifies Nigeria team from the final. Nigeria was disqualified for lane infringements, and for what the team Nigeria's men 4x400 meters quarters of Emmanuel Ochile, Ezekiel Nathaniel, Duben Amene, and Chidoke finished second in their semi-final heats. They ran a season best of 2 minutes 59.81 seconds, and that's what it meant they would have competed in Saturday's men 4x400 meters Olympic final. However, the South Africa's men 4x400 meters relay team has taken Nigerian sports. The referee disqualified Nigeria over the lane infringements down there in that particular one. But still talking about Team Nigeria's performance, Chinese opponent Song Ji proved too strong for Nigeria's Elizabeth Toyonacho in the taekwondo events or for the Olympics. The two-time Olympian Toyonacho have raised the hope of many Nigerians following her decent performance in the African Games in Accra, Ghana. But it was never meant to be in Paris as she lost to China's Song Jin. The Nigerian star started the bout very well and secured the first point, but the Chinese came back strongly to win the match 2-1 in that one. Talking about wrestling, we also saw Team Nigeria in wrestling event freestyle 125 kg. We saw the likes of Astin Adeyemi lost 11-0 to a Hungarian wrestler down there, and for the freestyle 62 kg, we saw the likes of Asilu got past Esther Omolayo Kolawale 1-0, 4-1 in that one. Not a very good, impressive performance for Nigerian wrestlers. So this time it didn't really go well for wrestling for Nigeria, and despite the huge level of investment and all what they've done so far, I think for me, when you take a look at it, we should cut them some slack, because according to reports, Blessing Obrodude, we heard she was competing with injury at some point as well. Odunaya Adekoya too.
Yeah, they had a very lengthy campaign as well, which they started here in Bayelsa State for about 3 weeks. They had their campaign here before jetting outside of the country to continue their campaign. And of course, these are the two big names you expect, to bring something to the table in terms of the medals, but then competing with injury over the last few days right now, it's not been an easy one. You need to be in their shoe, you need to be in their position, having an injury, but then because of the love and patriotism for your country, you still want to, do the country proud. Competing with injury is not an easy one, and that is why I think it just affected them, because for Odunaya Adekoya, we saw her first 2 games where she was able to at least progress through defeating their opponent out there in those 2 sets, but it's just that they couldn't make it through. Maybe because of the injury, it distorted their game plan. But of course, we say that it wasn't just meant to be for us, in the wrestling event for this year's Olympic Games.
All right, let's take a look at wrestling, because there's a little bit of controversy. So I beg your pardon, in cycling, as Nigeria's first ever representative in cycling at the Olympic, Ese Opereseye, said she is proud to have laid the marker for cycling in Nigeria after competing in 2 events at the Paris 24 Games. Opereseye became the first Nigerian, either man or woman, to feature in the events at the Olympic, cycling in the 158-kilometer road race and the track race. The 25-year-old did not finish her first event, the 158-kilometer road race, this month, but managed the 6th position in the first heat of the women's track event. She finished with a time of 13.108, missing out on an automatic spot into the quarterfinals. Following the non-provision of a bicycle by the Nigerian Olympic Committee and the Cycling Federation of Nigeria, stranded Nigerian cyclist Ese Opereseye was saved by Team Germany, who, in the spirit of sportsmanship, borrowed her bicycle to compete in the ongoing 24 Paris Olympic Games. But the sport minister, talking about John Waneno, has come out to say that his attention has been called to a post on social media by Ese Opereseye. Now, he said after reading the post and some follow-up comments, he actually said that the post was actually misunderstood as because it didn't seem to give proper context to the matter in perspective. The minister said it is important to make some clarification. He said Team Nigeria qualified for one road race in cycling and prepared for it in terms of training and appropriate competition equipment. Now, Team Nigeria was fully prepared for this road race until 2 weeks ago after the cycling team, but the rest of Team Nigeria had already left for the Olympics, that the communication from the Union Cyclists International was received, relocating additional slots to the Cycling Federation of Nigeria. Now, this reallocation to Nigeria was due to disqualification of a country, leaving Nigeria as the next eligible to make the list of qualified countries to compete. Unfortunately, this additional slot required the use of a different competition equipment in terms of biking. Now, for this track race, reallocated to Team Nigeria, a very special equipment approved specifically for the Olympic track game is used. Now, it takes months to have it delivered after ordering and making payments. To therefore get SA to compete, the Federation, through SA's club in Europe and working with a German-owned company, got a track bike for SA to compete in the cycling event. Michael, what do you make of this one from the Minister of Sport, John Wanino?
I think he just came up to clear some statement which was not a good one. It was for me an image tarnishing statement. It make it look embarrassing for Nigerian sport generally, and not just for the Cycling Federation, noting that we could not provide the tools for our cyclists to take part in the event. We have to go borrow from Germany.
The Olympics started on the 26th.
Yeah.
So if they head down to the Olympics and this came up, all right, they would have at least made provision. He said, the minister is saying that it takes a month for the bicycle to be delivered.
I think that is only where the context, I'm not really getting it, because from findings, it is very clear that you can get the bicycle delivered within the space of 3 days, at most 1 week, because they had 2 weeks before that notification from the Cycling International that because of the fact that maybe the country that was supposed to take the slot were disqualified because maybe one issue or the other, then Nigeria become the next people that the lot fell into. Just like what happened in the Nigerian men 4x100 meter, where they actually infringe on the touchline, and then finishing second, but then because of the fact that they infringe on the rules, they were disqualified, and South Africa, that was third, took our spot. It's more like what happened there in the cycling, that people that were supposed to take part in it, couldn't meet up, maybe because they had issue, and the next people or the next country was Nigeria, and that is how the slot fell into us, because naturally, ordinarily, we had just one slot that we got qualified. So when the second slot came, they had 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that is when they got the information that, hey, come on, this people has been disqualified and this slot goes to you. 2 good weeks, even before the Paris Olympic game. And we learned that this bicycle can be delivered in 3 days, but let's just put it by and large 1 week. And you had 2 weeks notification, so you couldn't get it within the space of 1 week. And it's coming to tell. But then I think for the Minister of Sport, maybe he has a valid point out there. Maybe there are some other things that we are not properly aware about. The Minister of Sport has come out to actually debunk some of those negative reports, saying that even the bicycle that it was claimed that it was the German that gave us in the spirit of sportsmanship. He said because of their own effort, they had to contact the team where the Nigerian athlete is representing as a club side out there, and they liaise with them to provide us with that bicycle. So it's not more like maybe we were stranded and we were begging Germany, say, please help us with one bicycle, let us know. That is what the picture was, and that is what most media painted it in that light of negativity, and that is why the sport minister has come out to clear the air on that.
All right, still talking about the Olympic game, we hear Botswana's president Masisi has declared an afternoon day off today to honor Leslie Tobago, the country's first ever Olympic gold medalist in the 200 meters. This recognition celebrates Tobago's achievements as both the first Botswanas and the first African to secure gold in this event. The president's proclamation reflects the nation's respect for Tobago's success and is a tribute to his late mother, making this occasion in Botswana sporting history. This is a very huge way of honoring the man.
True, very, very impressive, and a very huge way of trying to, honor a living legend. This is what we call a living legend. Not when they are dead before you start honoring the person. I think some of our sportsmen, when they are still alive, you do something spectacular that will make them feel, yes, come on, the achievement I gained, I think I'm being recognized not just by few persons, but my own country, because I did that out of patriotism, sweating blood, and sweat out there on the track to ensure that you put your country's name on the map. It's not an easy one. So you need to be celebrated while you are still alive. I can still remember the music, Celebrate Me When I'm Alive, not when I'm dead, before you start talking big that you would have done this, you would have done that. That is when they remember the good thing that you were doing. So for me, I think it is better we honor some of these people that have done the nation proud. And for, them, I think it's a nice way. It is also a weekend, maybe taking time out early to go and start, partying for the impressive record, because they didn't just win this one for them alone, but it's for the continent of Africa. And no African, athlete have ever won that 200 meter in the history of the Olympic game. It really deserves, this a public holiday, if I may use the word.
All right, away from that, we hear Egyptian Olympic wrestler Mohamed Kesho Ibrahim has been arrested in Paris for an alleged sexual assault. The Paris prosecutor office released a statement saying, and I quote, on August 9th, around 5 a.m., a man born in March 1998 in Egypt, who was a wrestler in the Olympic delegation, was arrested in front of the OZ Cafe. It is understood he was arrested for allegedly touching the buttocks of another customer at the cafe. The Egyptian Olympic Committee named Kesho, who won a bronze medal at the Tokyo 2020 Games, as the team member who has been arrested. The Egyptian Olympic Committee added he will be investigated by its ethics committee and could face a life ban from competition. Michael, what do you make of this one?
Nothing. Maybe he enjoyed touching the boots of women than focusing on what took him to the Paris Olympic game, which for me I think is very, very unprofessional.
He might be going for a life ban.
Yeah, and that will cost him his career, and that is how bad it is. I mean, he went there for something special and not about that. You have your own time as well, to maybe go get married or go get girlfriend.
The money.
Yeah, you have the money, and not about going to insult and disgrace your nation, because this one is beyond him. It's more like it's a national disgrace, because now that he has appeared on the frontline media, he's not being mentioned only. His country, where he hails from, will also appear. So it's a national disgrace for me. Yeah. Very disappointing and not a good one.
Very disappointing. All right, we'll take a short break now. We'll come back from the break, bring you the latest revolving the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
An athlete, 19.79. It's a goal, it's a goal. when you're at the best. It's when you're 12 years for this. So drink it in. Still goes to New Zealand. Do I need love to be immortality as an athlete? 19.79. It's a goal. It's 8 goals.
Welcome back to Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and we'll bring you the latest revolving around the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And let's take a look at the medal table for Africa. Kenya, they stay top of the medal table in Africa for Africa, as they've won 1 gold, 1 silver, 3 bronze. There are 5 medals for Kenya. South Africa second with 4 gold medals. Uganda third down there with 2 medals so far for Uganda. And for the likes of Morocco, they have 2 medals in total. Algeria have 1 medal. Botswana have 4 medals. As they have they have 1 medal. Talking about Botswana down there. And for the likes of Ethiopia, they have 2 medals. Tunisia have 1 medal. And for the likes of Egypt, they have just 1 medal as well. Zambia also have 1 medal. Team Nigeria, we told you, are yet to win a medal at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Michael, what do you make of the medal table for Africa?
Nothing to write home about. Nothing at all. Combine the medals that African teams have won, whether Kenya, South Africa, Zambia, put all of them together. It is not even the 3rd quarter of what France have won. Let me not mention China or even United States of America. And that is how poor Africa, is faring at the ongoing Paris Olympic Game. Not a sensational one at all. So there's nothing to cheer, to be merry about in the medal slug for Africa. It has been a disappointing outing for Africa generally. And then Nigeria, I think we are the worst culprit in the poor form of African team out there in the ongoing Paris Olympic Games.
All right, let's take a look at the medal table for the world medal table. China stayed top on the world medal table with 32 gold, 25 silver, 30 bronze. So that's 77 medals for China. And the United States of America is second with 31 gold, 38 silver, a total of 36 bronze medals for the United States of America, and 105 medals in total for USA. Australia are third with 18 gold medals, 15 silver, 14 bronze. So that was 47 medals for Australia. And France are fourth with 14 gold medals, 19 silver, and 22 bronze medals. A total of 55 medals for France. Great Britain are fifth with 14 gold medals, 19 silvers, and 21 bronze medals for Great Britain. A total of 54 medals for Great Britain at this point. That's how far we could go in bringing you the medals table. That's what it is. China stayed top on the world medals table. But away from the Paris 2024 Olympic Game, Michael will go to report that former CAF President Issa Hayatou died yesterday at the age of 78.
Very sad one for football in Africa, not just Africa, but the world football, the world football fraternity as a whole. It's a great miss because we know the investment what Issa Hayatou has brought to the world of football, especially when it has to do with the African continent. We saw most of the reform he did here in Africa in terms of trying to improve our league as well, and also, football generally in Africa. He's been a key member of the, African, movement in terms of sport development, a key member of FIFA as well, who was working tirelessly to ensure that, the aim of football, which is unity, is, become the benchmark so long as football is concerned across the globe. I mean, during his time in office, he actually did a lot, to remember him for. I think, like I said, it's a sad one for the world of football and for Africa as a whole.
He served as the president of CAF from 1988 until March 2017, a period which African football experienced significant growth and global recognition. His tenure at CAF saw the expansion of the African Cup of Nations, the inclusion of more African teams, and the FIFA World Cup, and the strengthening of football infrastructure across the continent. Hayatu also held the position of interim president of FIFA from October 2015 to February 2016, stepping in after the suspension of Sepp Blatter. His brief leadership at FIFA came during one of the most turbulent times in the organization's history, yet he managed to steer it through a crucial period with his characteristics calm and authority. So impressive when you see down there, and I will say may his soul of course rest in the bosom of the Lord. But away from that, we hear Lee Casley has been appointed interim England manager for September Nations League games as the Football Association continues to search for Gareth Southgate's permanent successor. The 50-year-old has stepped up from his role as England under-21 boss to replace Southgate, who resigned 2 days after defeat by Spain in Euro 2024 final last month. Kesley is a former Premier League midfielder who played for clubs including Derby, County and Everton during his 17-year career. He moved into management and took charge of Coventry, Brentford and Birmingham on a caretaker basis before becoming England under-20 coach. In 2020, Kesley soon became boss of England under-21 and led them to the European Championship title in 2023 as they won the competition for the first time in 39 years. Michael, what do you make of the interim manager of England?
It's a good one. Taking a look at his footballing journey and his managerial journey as well, I think he's done pretty well for himself. And one thing that I'm very happy about the Casley appointment is that I think England is beginning to get it right. Looking on the ways of the grassroots, which we keep talking about. If you also can remember that even before Gareth Southgate, got a job as the Three Lions coach, he was also, their underage team coach, and he progressed from there before he now passed through the rank and become the national team coach, which during his 8-year spell, he actually did well for England, bringing them back again to reckoning after 1966, about 58 years ago, taking them to major finals, and especially for the Euro, back-to-back finals. They did pretty well. Now, they are going back again to the roots, which is going to the youth level as well. Casley have progressed from the youth level under 19 to under 21, taking him to the senior national team for the interim basis until they find a suitable coach. I think it's a good one. Maybe if he get to do well, he might convince the authority that, hey, I'm the right man for the job. I am that, Moses that is going to take this team, not just, to the end of the river, but to help them cross. I'm Moses and Joshua, because Moses couldn't take the children of Israelites crossing the sea, getting to the promised land, but then he actually took them far and pointed the promised land before Joshua now took them. Maybe it's going to be that Joshua, if he get to do well, convince the authority that I'm the man that is going to take England, to that place which they truly desire, which is the echelon of becoming that world power in terms of football, then it is a good one for him. But I will always say, the English national team job is as difficult, is tasking just like the job of the Super Eagles, because England fans, they don't have that long-time patience as well, to allow you to progress. So you just get to, you just need to get, the ground running as you get the job. Starting for your friendly games, just do everything possible, prove your points out there, and if you get to convince them, I wish him good luck.
All right, let's see how it goes for the man. We'll hope he gets things done and dusted. But still talking about football, Portugal veteran Pepe announced yesterday in a video on social media he would be retiring from football at the age of 41. Michael, Pepe finally has called it a quit in football.
After peppering so many strikers and midfielders, he has now decided, to leave the stage. I think he truly a man that you cannot forget in the history of, football. One of the best defenders in the history of football. You could also cast your back mind when he has that deadly pair with him and Sergio Ramos. It was no go area. So Pepe, great player, great defender, paid his dues, and for me, one of the legends in the game. Now that he thinks that his body can no longer carry him again, a great one for him to exit the stage. At 41, still made a record for himself, becoming the oldest player to play in the finals of the Euro. Like I said, he has paid his dues for both Madrid, for Porto, name it. So I think his legacy will live on.
Pepe joined the Portuguese side Maritimo at the age of 18 and went on to play for Porto, Spanish giant Real Madrid, and the Turkish club Besiktas. He spent a trophy-laden 10 years with Madrid, where he won 3 Champions Leagues, 2 Club World Cups, and 3 Spanish League titles. He also enjoyed 2 stints at Porto between 2004-2007 and 2010-2000. And 2024, winning a total of 4 Portuguese Championship and 5 Portuguese Cup. Although born in Brazil, the centre-back made his international debut for his adopted country of Portugal in 2007 and went on to earn 141 caps, winning their first piece of major silverware at Euro 2016 as well as the Nation League 3 years later. Pepe sets a new record as the oldest player to ever play at the European Championship when he started Portugal's opening game at Euro 2024 at the age of 41. But talking transfer this evening, Chelsea not relenting in getting players. We hear that they have agreed a deal worth 63 million euros, that's about 54 million pounds, for Wolverhampton Wanderers forward Pedro Neto. Michael.
Yeah, for Chelsea, I don't know what is their problem. They just want to sign everybody that, that just say he's playing football. More like a video I saw that their scout was going around. If he sees you wearing any jersey or carrying any boot, say go and get him. I think it will be fit for our new system. Anywhere he goes, just make sure that you are wearing jersey or a boot. His scout will call you more like a joke, but then in reality, it looks to be what we are seeing. Taking a look at the number of players they have signed so far, young talent, no doubt, but then are they building for the future, or do they still want to contend for the upcoming league? If not contending for the league, but at least finishing, very strong, meaning that you must finish within the Champions League, sport. Can Chelsea do this with these young stars that they are signing? I don't know. But then for Pedro Neto, he's a very good striker, better, than Nicolas Jackson, where Jackson last season for Chelsea was one of their problems because he missed so many chances that could have even helped Chelsea to qualify for the top 4. So for Pedro Neto, I think it's an upgrade in the strike force for Chelsea, football club. I'm just thinking that they should be very careful the way they are signing, because as I stand right now, I think they have the most bloated squad in the EPL with about 45 players, as it stands. Let's hope that before the end of the season they are going to let go. Before the end of the transfer window, rather, they are going to let go of so many of these players so that they can help balance their book, so that they don't fall prey to the financial fair play rules.
If this confirmed, Neto will become Wolves' record sale after Ruben Neves moved to Saudi Arabia Al Hilal for £47 million. And with that, of course, we'll call it to wrap up this point on the show. But we can't go without telling you that Botswana Tobago is our sport extraordinaire, the first man or the first athlete in Africa to win a gold medal in the 200 meters event in the Olympic Games. And with that, he is our sport extraordinaire on the show, Michael, this evening.
Truly deserving for me. I think he has, been able to help his country and also help Africa to, wipe away shame from us.
We'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. on another exciting edition of Sports Personality. Do well to join us. The promise is to be an exciting time. Bringing you another sports personality on Atlantic Television. It's about 6 p.m. tomorrow. Sport Extraordinary will come your way. You can go down to our different social media handles. The conversation continues right there. But don't forget, peace and unity are always the pathways to progress. Always enjoy here on Atlantic Television Network.